buy used cell phones and tablets when individuals and businesses upgrade or switch carriers. So when they upgrade to new hardware, if they're buying new phones, we buy their old ones back. Or if you are switching a carrier, if you switch from Verizon to AT&T, sometimes you can't use the old phone on the new carrier, and the new carrier will provide you new phones. So we buy the old ones back, and that helps offset your cost of buying new devices. We buy the devices through a variety of channels. We buy them from consumers and businesses. From consumers, we buy them through our website. We have a website with an instant quote feature where you can go on, say what kind of device you have, an iPhone, an Android, or BlackBerry device, tell what condition it's in, and we'll give you an instant quote. When you get the instant quote, if you accept it, it will give you a free shipping label, and you can mail your phone to us in our office. Then we process your payment after we've processed the phone. We also provide trade-in through several retail outlets. We have a few partnerships with stores that are in Alaska, which is where I grew up, and you can go in and the entire retail transaction is taken care of in the store. So you hand them the phone, they tell you what price you're going to get, and if you decide you want to sell it, they give you cash right on the spot. And then they proceed to send us the phones. In enterprise, we buy phones from companies through wireless sales reps at carriers. So we have decent relationships with most of the major carriers, really good ones with T-Mobile. I just pitched a room of 30 T-Mobile sales reps 2 days ago and 5 managers. And at AT&T, we have probably about 5 or 6 reps we've got relationships with. And then Verizon, I just connected with the entire Verizon team in Alaska. So when these representatives, these sales reps, go out and find a small business customer or medium-sized business that wants to either change to their service or upgrade their lines, the reps refer the customer to us so that we can buy their old hardware and lessen their cost of upgrading or switching to whatever carrier they're switching to. GCI is General Communications. They're a smaller carrier that's in Alaska, and we also work with them pretty closely. We buy back all of the phones that they bring in through their own independent trade-in program. So it's kind of like a white label trade-in program. When we've got the phones in our office, we put them through a very specific process. In the beginning, we check and record key information about the devices, including their serial numbers, what carrier they're associated with, and we check these against global databases that tell us whether or not the phones were reported lost or stolen. This is a very key difference between a mature trade-in company and somebody that's just buying and selling phones out of their house or something like that. So we check and record that key information, and then we record all of the logistical information about how we got the phone, where it came from, how it was shipped to us, so that we have that so that we're protected. Once we've got all that info, we have a system a computer software that erases the data from the devices, and it records when the data was erased, who was erased by, and what computer it was on. So we have all of that data in case anybody ever comes back to us and says, hey, we were concerned about data security, did you erase our device? And when we go pitch businesses, we say, we're very, very concerned about data security. All of your devices will be erased properly immediately when they come to our office. If we need to, if we are buying a cracked device or a device with a broken screen, or if it's been dumped in a toilet or something like that, we'll occasionally do some repair if it's economical for us to do so. Otherwise, if we don't, we'll diagnose the device, record what's wrong with it, and put that into our check and record system. Following repair, if we do that, we take the devices and we resell them to wholesale buyers internationally. Most of our devices, a lot of Apple devices in particular, go to companies in Hong Kong. We also sell to companies in South America and Europe. And then occasionally, if a device has to be used in the United States, if it can't be unlocked for international use, we will sell it through a channel like eBay. We have an eBay store that we push about $10,000 a month worth of devices through right now. So this was Newaya 3 years ago. I started the company in my dorm room at Colorado State University. This is me at the Sustainable Living Fair in Fort Collins, Colorado. At the time, the company was called Green iPhone, and we only bought iPhones. It was actually not a we back then, it was just me. I only bought iPhones, and I was doing about 20 to 30 iPhones a month, which equated to about $35,000 in revenue in 2011. But it limited our market ability to buy different devices. A lot of companies use more than just iPhones. They use BlackBerries, they use Android devices. So it's come a long way since then. You can see my presentation with laminated paper and business cards, but it was a lot of fun. Today, Newaya has a 400 square foot office at the Rocky Mountain Innosphere, the incubator in Fort Collins. We've got kind of a micro warehouse there, and you can see all these different stations. Each table is a different station that processes different parts of the phone. So on the far right in the back, we have my full-time employee, Will. He is our device processor, and he's at the receiving desk where we receive devices. The desk next to him to the right is the data wiping desk, and the one with the nice photo lamps in the studio is where we take pictures of the devices for resale. We also have some provocative posters in our office to keep us spry and young. Today we have a beautiful website that is very, very simple to use in finding out how much your phone is worth. So if you go on our site, all you have to do is punch in what model of phone you have, what condition it's in, and you get an instant quote that tells you, we'll buy your phone right now for this amount. So it's been an integral part of offering a faster service, I should say. At that picture of me in the beginning, if you wanted to sell us a phone, you either had to find me in physical reality or you had to send me an email and I'd email back what your phone was worth. Today, customers can go on our website and figure out exactly what it's worth right now. And we just launched the quote form several months ago. It's been received very well so far. The money. So in 2011, I was buying phones out of my dorm room, completely bootstrapped with $2,000 in my bank account. We did $35,000 in sales, top line revenue. In 2012, we did $95,000, and I just finished my accounting for this year last night, actually, and we did $228,000 in 2013 in top line sales. And I'm very happy about that. I remember I looked back at my notes from 2011, and my goal was to hit just under 100,000 in 2012, and for 2013, my goal was 200,000. So we're meeting and exceeding the goals. We do have a fair amount of competition in this market. 3 years ago when I started, there weren't a whole lot of companies doing trade-in, and now you see a lot of them in the space. In the consumer space, you have online companies like Gazelle. They're probably the biggest one, and they do TV ads, so they're what most people have heard about. Gazelle provides an excellent online trade-in solution where you go and find your quote, similar to ours. It's very, very simple, very streamlined. But as they've grown and scaled their company to accept a lot of consumer devices, the process is not as personal. It's very automated, which works for some people. Some people like a personal connection, though. On consumer, we also compete with people that are local. So there's a company in Fort Collins that is right next to a grocery store, Cash for Smartphones. You walk in, it's a retail trade-in solution. They provide a very, very immediate solution. However, they don't have as much of the rigorous data wiping processes and professional processes behind their business that we do. In enterprise, we have a few very strong competitors. The one that we've heard the most about, and I've done the most research on, is eCycle. They have worked with some of our partners, and they're very big, and they have stringent data security requirements too. Firefly is a smaller one, and Clover Wireless is also another very big one that does a lot of device refurbishing. So there's a lot of competition in this space. There wasn't when I started, but there is now, certainly. And what makes us better is the ultimate question that comes out of all this risk that we've got associated with us. There are three really big things that I've found in the 3 years of running the business and that I'm projecting into our vision in the future too. One of them, and first and primary, is channel partners. I found in 3 years of running a small business that people make much faster decisions when they've got a trusted source of information coming at them and referring a good company or referring a good service. We want to work with accessory makers that are providing a product that is associated with the device. And when we discuss, when we present our service, it's presented with through a valued source, like an accessory maker and a blog. With blogs, there are several blogs that we've partnered with so far that review cell phone apps. They review apps for iPhones and for iPads. When these blogs they put out these reviews, we've approached them and said, we'll give your readers a special increase in their price if you give them this opportunity to trade in their phones with us. And we've had really great success with those so far. We've run about 3 or 4 of them. And in the last one, we just ran a couple months ago, there was an app review blog called 148 Apps, and our website received 400 referrals in about 2 or 3 days from the promotion that we ran with that blog. On the safety front, ensuring data erasure is one of our biggest key advantages over a lot of the smaller competitors. The fact that we're completely, that we guarantee data erasing is really, really critical to enterprise clients, and it's been critical to consumers too that we've found. And one of the ways that we want to push this through in the future is saying to our customers, any device that you send us is going to be data erased as a guarantee. And if we cannot erase it, we will email you and notify you that that's the case. And if you don't want to sell it to us anymore, we'll ship it back to you for free. If you do want to sell it to us, we will take out the motherboard from your device and smash it with a hammer so it's guaranteed to be destroyed. And we'll pay you for the parts that we can use from that phone that are not the motherboard. The last bit is very targeted towards small businesses. Personal contact has been one of the things we've gotten the best feedback on, is when we work with small businesses that have 10 to 20 to 30 lines that they're upgrading. A lot of these other enterprise trade-in companies, as they've scaled, their salespeople go after 50 to 100 to 1,000 cell phone lines, opportunities to buy that many devices. And the companies that have 10 or 20 or 30 lines don't get nearly the level of customer service that they were hoping for. And so a lot of, actually our favorite rep at T-Mobile that refers a lot of business to us, she switched to us entirely because the other trade-in companies that she was using, they would get back to her customers in 2 or 3 days, but it was a very long cycle and process, and didn't work very well for them. Once they switched to using us, they've been pretty happy. This is a quote from one of our most recent trade-ins through T-Mobile. There's a gentleman in Denver that runs Stenberg Brakes, and he said, "Our changeover from Sprint to T-Mobile was delightful. I had a great experience with Newaya. It tied in seamlessly with my transition." I pitched to T-Mobile a few days ago, as I mentioned, with this quote, and we've had 3 or 4 T-Mobile reps already contacting us and requesting quotes for their customers' devices. So, this is great. We're running a successful small business. It's going well. It's entirely bootstrapped until now. But what's next? My vision for Newaya is that we can become the Zappos of trade-in, of cellular phone trade-in and tablet trade-in. Zappos is a company that provides shoes, right? But everybody associates Zappos in their mind with great customer service. I would argue that they're a customer service company before they're a shoes company. We can provide that in focusing on personal customer service as we scale automation behind our website and behind our technology, so that the customers that we have from small business, small to medium business, and from consumer level get a personal interaction or personal transaction when they sell a phone to Newaya. They also are going to know that the data standards that we carry are bar none, that their device and their information is not going to be let out or sold to anyone or sold downstream to somebody that's not going to protect it. The middle, first mover, is we want to partner with people that make accessories for these cell phones, so that we can, when you sell us a phone, for example, with an OtterBox case, you're going to get more money for it than a phone that's unprotected. This is, to my knowledge, we will be the first company that provides this service of incentivizing protective case use. We're working with certain partners already. OtterBox we're in talks, in discussion with, and I'm very, very excited about this. If we launch this in the next couple months, we will be the first provider to offer an incentivized protective case use. Where will Montford's money go if we win some? So I have been doing this for 3 years, and it's grown based on a $2,000 lump sum in my bank account from the very beginning. It's worked so far, and it's worked well. We've gotten into an office space. We're very happy. However, I've made some mistakes along the way. One of the mistakes last summer was we had a gentleman in Alaska selling us phones that he would buy on Craigslist. The gentleman, we did not credit check him beforehand, and he defrauded us about $10,000 by sending me a box of staples that matched the exact weight of the phones that he was supposed to send us. We were paying him cash on shipment. And those kinds of hits and little mistakes and experiments along the road have depleted our cash supply a decent amount. So a lot of what we would like to use the money for is to scale our operation, to hire one more person to do more phones, and to help us build and go after more companies. It'll also go into automating our technology for providing great customer service as we scale, and it will help us build these partnerships and provide the time to build case accessory maker partnerships that we explore. Thank you so much.